guys, TrueGreen7 here, and have you ever played Pokemon? Well, little known fact, I have as well. But don't tell anybody, cause I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because there are a few Pokemon that I've always wanted to train, but never got to for many different reasons. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the Pokemon that I've dreamt about having in my main game team every night as I snuggle with my Pokemon plushes. Now, I don't know why I have to explain this cause it's pretty self-explanatory, but this list consists of Pokemon that I want to have in my team during my main game journey. Not yours, so please don't expect your favorite Pokemon to be here, especially since I may already have had that Pokemon in my party. You weren't there, you don't know, but I was. I saw everything. Everything. Number 10. Dragonite. By now you can tell that some of the Pokemon on this list are relatively rare. I mean, in its native Kanto region, you gotta look far and wide for this tiny dragon. Actually, if you look anywhere but the Safari Zone, you will not find it, so don't search far and wide. But that's the point. You gotta know where to find Dratini. I mean, it's not totally unfindable. 15% is decent, but level 15 to 25? Who do you think I am? I'm going for the level 35 Dragonair, and that's a 1% chance, my friends. Okay, so I admit it, Dratini isn't as rare as we thought it was. But for some reason, I never got one in a Kanto game. I guess my Fire Red team was just too perfect by the time I got to Fuchsia that I didn't have the motivation to catch a rare Pokemon that required intense training. Also, Dragonite has always been my least favorite pseudo-legendary Pokemon, but I still love him and regret not ever training one. There have been opportunities, but I just never committed. Hey, you ready now? Sorry man, not now. How about now? No, Dragonite. Gosh, so clingy. Number 9. Vaporeon. Eevees are also not the most common Pokemon, but I've had the good fortune of acquiring one. But the toughest decision is deciding what I want to evolve it into, cause there's no turning back. No turning back. I have to really contemplate on what I want my team to look like and which type is missing in my party. Now, the only time I ever kept an Eevee on my team was in Pokemon Black 2. I evolved Evan into a Jolteon, and he's contributed very well. I couldn't really evolve it into what may be my favorite evolution because I had a Samurott. I don't know when the next time I'll use an Eevee will be, but I hope I have no other good water type to fill my needs so I can finally get a nice, refreshing Vaporeon. I just love this thing. It's cute, beautiful, badass, well-designed, well-named, and relatively powerful. We will meet soon, my sweet, sweet Vape-Nash. I'm gonna name it Vape-Nash. Number 8. Exploud. Exploud is not the most popular Pokemon, but I do like him a lot. As a child playing Ruby and Emerald, I always remembered encountering pivotal trainers with Explouds. They were extremely intimidating. I think this Pokemon actually opened my eyes to the possibility of Pokemon evolution. The meek Whismur eventually turns into this beast, and I love the concept as well. I guess I never really allowed myself to have a normal type on my team unless they were special like Snorlax and Slacking. But maybe the next time I run through Hoenn, I'm gonna pick up a nice little Whismur and finally train an Exploud. Just gonna walk into the Whismur aisle and make sure to take a Whismur from the back, cause those are the freshest Whismurs. True Green pro tip, I guess. Number 7. Garchomp. I never had one. Please don't kill me. I know how good Garchomps are. Trust me, I've seen Cynthia. I've been beaten to death by her Garchomp. I'm one with the Garchomp. I just never had one. I'm guessing I just didn't want 2 Pokemon on my team that were quadruply weak to ice. Looking back, it's really easy to get a Gibble. You can find one pretty early on, in fact. It's actually really weird that I never had a Garchomp, considering I've had much rarer pseudo-legendary Pokemon like Metagross, Salamence, and Como-O. But gosh diddly darn do I want a Garchomp. Not in real life though, cause this thing is scary. But I'll be fine settling with a virtual Pokemonster version. Number 6. Excadrill. When this Pokemon was released, I pretended like I didn't like him, like I didn't need it on my team. I don't know why. I just had this obligation to not give in. I'm actually completely serious, I have no explanation whatsoever as to why I used to hate him. But after hearing so much about this Pokemon's raw power, I guess I just burst out and made a complete 180. I need it! Now I want this Pokemon on my team so badly. It really sucks cause the opportunities have passed. In my first Black playthrough, I had a Seismitoad. In my Black 2 playthrough, I had a Crocodile. And in my current Black 2 Nuzlocke on this channel, I finally got a Drillbur named Monty. And spoiler alert, Colress killed him! I don't know, man. I guess it was never meant to be. Rest in peace, Monty. Rest in peace. I mean, maybe Monty will rest easier if you, I don't know, gave this video a like. But that's just a thought. You don't have to. Unless you want to. Number 5. Tyranitar. Okay, this is the last pseudo-legendary on this list, I swear. But can you blame me for wanting a green rock Godzilla Pokemon? I think I made my point. But I have realized that I tend to leave pseudo-legendaries for the post-game. And when I catch one, I usually train it up to the middle stage, and after that, I just stop playing, so the Pokemon never fully evolves. But when the post-game is bumpin' like an Emerald, I tend to fully evolve my pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Now in the Johto games, I never got a Larvitar, but in Fire Red, I did on one of the Sevi Islands, and it's good. He's a Pupitar now, but I just don't have the time to evolve it into a Tyranitar. I will eventually during the summer when I have more time, so I'm looking forward to finally having one of the most popular Dark types around. Maybe I'll combine his Sandstorm with Excadrill and have a nice double team. Who am I kidding? I don't battle competitively. I don't even know what I just said. I don't know what an assault vest does. I googled it. You don't have to tell me. Number 4. Alolan Ninetales. You know, when I first saw this magnificent beauty, I fell in love. How could you not? Are you blind? Yes. I wasn't talking to you. Oh, okay. I just thought this Pokemon was gonna be the MVP of my team. I thought I was gonna journey through Alola with this alluring enchantress. Say alluring enchantress 5 times fast. Alluring enchantress, alluring enchantress, alluring enchantress, alluring enchantress, alluring... Never mind, it's pretty easy. I thought she was the one, but my heart was broken when I found out you can only find one at the end of your journey. I was a little hopeful that I could at least use one against the Elite Four, but Vulpix's level was just too low, and I needed to finish Pokemon Sun so I could make a review video, so I just had to beat the Elite Four as soon as possible. Huh? What? What? Oh my god. No. No! I just found out that I could have caught an Alolan Vulpix at the Tapu Village in the middle of my playthrough. My dream could have been a reality. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I must restore my honor. I will capture the number 3 entry. Number 3. Riviera. I think this bird is extremely handsome. If this thing was real, every country would have it as its national mascot. We would be saluting to it every morning. We would go to war for it. They'll lead us into battle themselves. They don't just send others to do their bidding. Rivieras take care of their own problems. They even take care of other people's problems, just like a real American. I've had my eyes on this valiant bird for many years, mostly because if I take my eyes off of it, it would probably kill me. But that's what I want in a Pokemon. I need strong monsters in my party. But every time I see a Rufflet, I know I don't have the time or energy to evolve it. Even when I found out you can capture one pretty early on in Pokemon Sun, I was like, nope, I'm not going down that hole. Having a pre-evolved Pokemon on my team all the way until the Elite Four is not what I signed up for. This ain't no daycare. This is a daycare. Number 2. Zangoose. I already told this story on my channel, but I'm gonna tell it again. In fact, I may use the same exact words that I did before. Nobody's gonna tell. You see, I've never actually trained a Zangoose, but I've challenged the Battle Factory about 100, maybe 1,000 times, but who's counting? Well, that was actually pretty real. I'm gonna leave it in. In my opinion, the Battle Factory is the best battle facility. You don't use your actual Pokemon, but rather swap them for a random set that you can basically choose. Years ago, I managed to make it to the Battle Factory head Nolan, but I lost because I didn't really pick the best Pokemon. But exactly a year ago, I was able to choose a Zangoose, and his type coverage was amazing. Each move he had was a different type, and by the time we got to Nolan again, I was able to defeat him with Zangoose alone, and it didn't even lose any HP. It was the best Pokemon experience I ever had. Now I dream of actually training my own Zangoose and even giving it the same moves that the Battle Factory Zangoose had. Maybe I'll train a whole army of Zangeese. That would actually be pretty epic. And now some honorable mentions. Pokemon that I would love to have on my team in the future, but just didn't make the list cause it ain't a top 20. We got Raichu. I've loved this Pokemon, but I've always felt that having a Pikachu on my team was too cliche, so I didn't. Poliwrath. I've never had one, so in my mind I just have no relationship with this Pokemon. And you know when there's one person at school or work that you just never talk to, but you want to, just so you don't become enemies or anything? That's my relationship with Poliwrath. Alakazam and Machamp. Sometimes I stay away from the Pokemon you have to trade to evolve. Cacturn. I've always had a grass type in Hoenn, so there's no reason to have another one on my team. Dusknoir. It just seems cool. Vespiquen. It's too rare. And finally, Hydreigon. It evolves from Xylus at level 64. Ain't nobody got time for that. And number 1 is Milotic. It seems like I've talked about Milotic a billion times this year. This Pokemon has shown up in a lot of lists, and this is the second time it has been chosen as number 1. Until this day, Feebas is one of the 2 Pokemon that I could not acquire in Pokemon Emerald. I have clocked in 500 hours in that game and I have no Milotic to show for it. My very own Pokemon have been beaten by Milotic so many times, so if you can't beat them, capture them and make them join you. It's pretty simple. Milotic will be mine soon enough. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Check out these videos on the right for more top 10s and other videos. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook to be part of the True Green Gang, and I'll see you guys very soon.